February 16th.
I'm in a terrible mood today, and I'm going to take it out on you. Why should I be masochistic? Most of you have studied with other teachers. I should say misstudied with other teachers, and that doesn't make our problem any easier.
He looks at Scott Roberts.
Who isn't here?
I believe everybody is here.
What?
I believe everybody is here. I was just going over the list.
Your diction is awful.
I'm sorry, Scott says. I believe everybody is here. Yes, everybody is here. Meisner adjusts the microphone before continuing.
Do you honestly think, and I mean honestly, like what exists in the Bible and no place else, that you're learning?
There is a chorus of yeses from the students.
Don't flatter me, Meisner exclaims.
I'm not, Anna says.
How many people think they're not learning?
He looks around the room. What was the original question, Sandy? Joseph asks. I didn't understand it.
Repeat it, he says to Rosemarie.
Do you think, honestly, as in the Bible, that you're learning? Something here in class, I guess he means.
That's the question.
Raise your hand if you're not, Rosemarie says.
I don't see any hands,
Meisner says, his eyes scanning the 2 rows of seated students. Slowly, but with sureness, Vincent raises his right hand into the air. After a moment, Meisner says to the class,
Do you think this technique is for everyone?
There is a pause.
I don't. And that's right, Vince. You're not learning. I suggest you pack it in here and go find another teacher more to your liking.
Vincent's hand drops to his side. Okay, he says quietly and shrugs his shoulders.
I think you should leave. Right now, Meisner exclaims.
Vince nods stiffly, as if in shock, and then proceeds to collect his coat from under his seat and stand up. There is a pause while he works his way to the aisle and begins to cross the acting area, moving toward the door. At midpoint, Meisner asks,
Who is your partner?
Sarah, Vince says.
Sarah? Who can take on 2 partners?
Ray raises his hand.
Ray, you'll give it a try? Meisner asks.
Ray nods.
Then work with Sarah.
Vincent stands frozen in the middle of the room. He slowly raises his right hand again, this time in a kind of salute. Thank you.
Okay, Meisner says with a wave of his right hand. So long, and good luck.
Vincent turns, walks through the open door, and is gone.
Okay, Lila and Bruce, let's go.
The 2 students stand and move on to the acting area, and the class resumes.
It kills me when I have to ask a student to leave my class,
Meisner says as he opens the door to his small 1-bedroom apartment.
But when I see that he cannot learn what I have to teach, and that his presence has become detrimental to other students who are learning, then as a responsible teacher I must do it. I usually write to say that I regret that in my opinion I am not the right teacher for him, or I have Scott call him to explain the same thing, whichever is less painful for both of us. The theatrics of this afternoon are not the norm.
Meisner stiffly removes the heavy wool coat with a fur collar, his protection against the icy New York winter.
I've decided to ask Philip and Bruce to leave too.
He walks slowly with the aid of his cane into the living room of the apartment and perches stiffly on a special high-backed chair with long legs that he had built for his use after his hip operation.
Philip is a sweet kid. Too sweet, perhaps, to survive as an actor, although he wants to be one desperately. Scott told me that he works in some kind of a cafeteria that stays open all night. He works then so that his afternoons are free to take classes and go to auditions. It's clear to me that he wants to act, but that his inhibitions, I blame it on his parents, have crippled him. I seriously doubt that he will ever become a successful actor. In a funny way, Bruce is quite similar. Although he's been in this business for 20 years, like Lila, who God knows I should get rid of too, he has no technique. Instead, he has accumulated an awesome number of superficial tricks in an attempt, I suppose, to make himself feel more secure. But the result is an intense self-consciousness that cuts him off from his partner and the possibility of transcending his own scared self. Acting is a scary, paradoxical business. One of its central paradoxes is that in order to succeed as an actor, you have to lose consciousness of your own self in order to transform yourself into the character in the play. It's not easy, but it can be done. I'm only sorry that I cannot teach Bruce, Philip, and Vincent, and so many others, how to do it.